Imagine what life would look like if we didn't give a shit about our choices or our actions. Visualize it. Imagine you just did whatever the hell you wanted. You didn't have to worry about anything. And you played video games all day because they were super fun. You know, you'd eat all the fucking nice, tasty food that you want. You'd go out partying and do all those drugs and stuff if you didn't give a crap about anything. Imagine that. Visualize doing all of those things. Just free, watching porn as well. I forgot to add that image here. You got to do anything. All of the bad habits, all of it. Imagine that. And then it starts to catch up on you. You're hungover in the mornings, you have no money because you're spending all your time playing video games instead of going to a job, you're unemployed, you get fat and lonely, and life gets to be real shit, you're watching so much porn, you can't even look at women anymore, you have no energy, you're defeated, and it's just so fucking shit. And it will just keep getting worse. You feel bad because you're doing all the bad habits, you indulge in them, it makes you feel like shit, and then you indulge in them even more to sort of cope for that bad feeling. It's like porn, it's like, you do it once and you feel like shit, so then you do it again and it makes you feel good again, you go, oh fuck, I just did it twice, I might as well do it again. You're feeling good in the moment and it just gets so bad. And that's when life becomes really, really shit. Before you went from enjoying all of these fun things, feeling great, but then when it catches up on you, it's just when it falls apart, and it goes down a very, very dark path. If you just visualize that, you keep these images in your mind, this is what happens when you indulge in all of those so-called fun things, the instant gratification, but then later in the life it really turns around and bites you in the ass. And I feel like if you keep that in your mind whenever you have to choose between video games or maybe reading a book that's informational or something, whether you choose to watch the porn or meditate and hang out with your friends instead of hiding inside your room fucking jerking yourself off. If you start to make better choices, maybe you even like turn around and try build like a fucking business or something like that online. You can choose to work on that instead of spending your hours and wasting and playing video games. And instead of, you just picture that right there, or I don't know, wherever you sit, you imagine those, and you'll see that it'll be easier to make the right choice instead of, falling apart and just doing all the bad stuff. And I know it's been normalized. I can't go back in my slides, but all of that other stuff, the partying and the drugs and the video games, it's all been normalized. It's all been encouraged and stuff. They're like, yeah, so you should do all this stuff because it's good for you. Video games are very good for you. But like the reality is that's just still bullshit. Like, you go out for a party to socialize with people, but you don't have to socialize people with a cigarette in your hand. You don't have to socialize them with a fucking bong in your mouth. You can socialize with people from taking a nice walk in the beach, going camping, going hiking, relaxing in a coffee shop together. You can get a sense of achievement through doing real things like making $10,000 a month or, building the dream physique that you want instead of reaching level 100 fucking melee or whatever in these goddamn video games. And if you can do that instead of, you take all these bad habits and you sort of turn them around, you morph them into something else, something better for you, then you'll find that it's a lot, life just becomes better. You avoid this image of, being fat and broke and, completely mentally drained of all the energy you have. If you just make the right choice, you visualize how dark of a path your life will go if you just keep indulging in all of those bad habits. I did that a few years ago. I just put that picture in my mind. What would my life look like if I just went all out on all of the bad things? And I thought, fuck that. I don't want to live that life. It is not where I want to be in 5 years. If you set yourself that high standard, you're going to stay away from it. Um, that's it for this video. It's just a quick thing for you to keep in your mind, to just visualize what your life will look like, and that'll encourage you to make the right choice. So, top link in the description, there's a little free community with a free course in there. You just got to sign up and make an account with the thing. It'll be great. You can connect with me as well. And yeah, very good. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely consider joining that thing. It literally doesn't cost you anything. You can write a post, ask questions, do anything. It'll be really, really good. Trust me in with that one. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.